Have you ever asked yourself why we suffer? Why does life throw us obstacles, pain, and hardship? We often wonder if there's any meaning to it all. But what if I told you that suffering isn't just something we endure, but something that can help us grow and transform into stronger, more awakened versions of ourselves? Stay with me, because the journey through suffering could be the key to unlocking your fullest potential. We all experience suffering in some form: heartbreak, loss, failure, illness, or loneliness. It feels overwhelming, unfair, and even pointless. It's easy to feel as if the universe is against us, or that life has no reason to bring such pain. But what if suffering had a deeper purpose? What if there was something to be learned from it that would shape us into better people? Imagine the process of a diamond forming deep within the earth. Under immense pressure, a simple carbon atom slowly transforms into something rare and valuable. The process isn't easy. It's painful, dark, and slow. Yet, the result is breathtaking. In the same way, our suffering can be a process of personal refinement, where we emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Throughout history, countless individuals have experienced suffering and emerged from it as changed people. Take Nelson Mandela, for example. He endured 27 years in prison, living in unimaginable conditions. But instead of breaking his spirit, his suffering became the bedrock of his transformation, leading him to become a global symbol of peace and reconciliation. His suffering gave him the strength to lead with compassion, understanding, and wisdom. You don't have to be a historical figure to find meaning in your own suffering. In fact, the daily struggles we face, whether it's trying to overcome personal struggles, find our purpose, or heal from emotional pain, can also help us grow if we approach them with the right mindset. Life doesn't always go as planned. Suffering forces us to wait, to endure, and to trust that things will get better. It teaches us the importance of patience, showing us that healing and growth take time. Every time we face hardship, we become more resilient. We develop the strength to handle future challenges more effectively. Suffering is like a muscle that, when exercised, grows stronger. It's easy to get lost in the pain of suffering, but in that darkness, we often discover new parts of ourselves. Sometimes suffering can lead us to reevaluate our goals, our relationships, and our beliefs. It forces us to ask ourselves, what really matters? What is the purpose behind my pain? When we suffer, we develop empathy for others who are going through similar experiences. This emotional connection helps us build deeper, more compassionate relationships, and it encourages us to support those in need. Often suffering comes from holding on to things we cannot control, be it past mistakes, unfulfilled expectations, or toxic relationships. In suffering, we learn the power of letting go. When we release what no longer serves us, we make space for healing and growth. We often don't know how strong we are until we face adversity. Suffering can bring out parts of ourselves we didn't even know existed. Resilience, creativity, and courage. It forces us to step out of our comfort zones and tap into our true potential. Without experiencing loss, we may take the good things in life for granted. Suffering reminds us to be grateful for moments of peace, joy, and happiness. It teaches us to cherish what we have before it's gone. Many of the greatest personal transformations have been born out of suffering. In our lowest moments, we often have no choice but to reinvent ourselves. That reinvention can lead to a life more aligned with our true purpose and values. When we are consumed by pain, we tend to get caught up in the moment, but suffering can also bring clarity. It strips away distractions and forces us to see the truth. In that moment of vulnerability, we can begin to see ourselves and the world more clearly. The more we suffer, the more we begin to understand the importance of being thankful for what we have. Suffering teaches us that even in the midst of pain, there are things worth appreciating. Practical tips to deal with suffering. Instead of focusing on the pain of your suffering, try to focus on the growth that comes from it. Change your perspective. See challenges as opportunities to learn, not as burdens to bear. Mindfulness helps us stay present, reducing the tendency to get lost in negative thoughts and emotions. When suffering hits, take a deep breath and stay in the moment. Focus on your breath and let the feelings pass through you. Sharing your pain with others can bring immense relief. Seek out a friend, family member, or therapist who can listen without judgment. Sometimes talking about suffering helps us process it. Ask yourself what you can learn from your suffering. What lesson is it teaching you? How can you use this experience to grow stronger, wiser, or kinder? Emotional pain can take a toll on your physical health. Practice self-care by getting enough rest, eating nourishing foods, and exercising. A healthy body supports a healthy mind. It's easy to be hard on yourself when suffering strikes, but remember to show yourself kindness. Acknowledge that it's okay to feel pain and that healing takes time. Don't rush yourself to get over it. If your suffering feels too overwhelming, don't hesitate to seek help from a professional. Therapy, counseling, or even support groups can provide the guidance and tools needed to cope with difficult emotions. Even in the darkest times, there are things you can be grateful for. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, helping to lighten the weight of your suffering. When facing suffering, the future may seem uncertain. Focus on setting small, manageable goals. Taking one step at a time helps build momentum and a sense of accomplishment. Understand that suffering doesn't last forever. Trust that you are being shaped by the experiences you're going through. With time, your suffering will eventually lead to a stronger, more awakened version of yourself. Suffering is an unavoidable part of life, but it isn't without purpose. While it may feel like a burden, suffering can become a powerful tool for growth, transformation, and awakening. It teaches us patience, builds resilience, helps us find our purpose, and connects us with others. By approaching suffering with the right mindset and practicing self-compassion, we can navigate through life's hardships and emerge stronger than before. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to Awakened Mind for more inspiring content on how to navigate life's challenges and unlock your true potential. Leave a comment below about your own experiences with suffering. How have you grown through pain? Let's continue the conversation and learn from each other. Remember, suffering isn't the end of the road. It's part of the journey. You have the strength within you to overcome whatever comes your way. Keep moving forward with patience, resilience, and hope. You are not alone in your struggle. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay awakened.